Right, Lee Hogan here, VIPtv, down here at Oldham Boxing and Personal Development Centre with Eric Noi. How you doing, Eric?
Fine, thanks.
And you're going to introduce us your new young protege?
Yeah, this is Will Cawley. I'm sure people will know about him.
Well, I actually know about him because I've videoed him a few times. A real young talent, very, very impressive. And first year as a senior now.
Yeah, first year as a senior coming up in the ABAs.
Well, you've been the Northwest. I watched you as the Northwest Youth Champion. You won that, and you got to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, semi-finals. Yeah.
But since then, you've won. What was it? The gold medal.
Yeah, I got picked for England last month. Won the gold medal in Brandenburg in Germany, which was a hard tournament.
Yeah.
Beat a kind of Kazakh in his first fight. Beat the German champion in his second fight, and beat a multi-talented, multi-medalist French kid in the final. And bearing in mind, it's the first time he'd boxed for 7 months. For whatever reason, he'd been out of the ring for 7 months. So his first fight for England was against.
And was that still as a junior or was that as a senior?
As a youth. It's a youth. It's a funny one now. They've changed all about, but basically up until 19, you're classed as a youth.
Yeah.
So his first fight after 7 months was against a Kazakh.
But so this year though, he's going in the championship.
Yeah, we're looking at target
in the elite championships as a senior.
We're going to target the elites in February. I think we start.
So what weight is that going to be? Is that 48 kilos?
No, 49 kilos.
49 kilos.
Flies, yeah.
And people in that weight, some good lads there, isn't there? Charlie Edwards and all these kids coming along.
Yeah, as a professional.
As a professional, sorry, yeah. Obviously, it was only last. Was it when did he turn pro? It was only 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, I think he was a flyweight though. I think he'd moved up to 52.
Right.
When he turned.
Also, he's mini fly then.
Yeah, light fly.
Yeah,
light fly they call it. Yeah. Light fly.
Well, I remember we had the kid from St Helens, John Lyons.
John Lyons, yeah.
He won 4 times as light and 4 times as fly.
I think 3 Olympics he went to, John Lyons. So
cracking lad.
Good weight.
But Will, we've got a little bit of footage of you. I think this is when you win in your Northwest Youth Championship, was it? And that was back earlier January this year.
About February, February last year. I think it might have been.
I think you were stopping our keeper Kane Roberts. Good kid. Was it Kane Roberts?
Kane Roberts from Metro, yeah.
Yeah, he was a good kid there. So he came forward, but paid the price, didn't he? Walked onto several shots, and I was talking to Eric. I was really impressed with your accuracy, mate, and your movement. You're a switch hitter, but you look like you got power with both hands there for a little kid.
Yeah, hit quite hard from away.
Yeah. And who have you been moving around? Because you've had him. I mean, this place you've got down here, this development centre, is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks, Lee. Yeah, we put a lot of effort into it. We've been here now 2 years. Centre Oldham. Thankfully, we got some kind of funding from Sport England and England Boxing.
Yep.
And as you can see, the facility we've got are second to none.
Oh, without a doubt, mate.
You know, if we're going to do a job, let's do it properly. So we have.
Who did you ever getting ready for one of the pros come down here, getting ready for one of his fights?
Well, we had Carl Fox. Carl Fox prepared here. Done 2 days here. When he boxed George Groves the first time in Manchester, and we had Katsides of all people. Yeah.
Was that when he was getting ready for the Tommy Coyle fight?
Yeah. With Morris, and Morris came down with him. So yeah. So
obviously you've got the Champs Camp connection because
but
amateur and pro, you were down there, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was down there for the last part of my career, and like many of the former Champs Camp fighters, it's left his legacy with me, and we could continue in the Phil Martin legacy.
You were one of his boys, really, weren't you?
Yeah, one of the.
Sadly took.
Yeah. Both a kind of carried his coffin when he died and stuff, and like you say, changed boxing, changed me, changed boxing, and like you say, his legacy lives on in many of his trainers.
Yeah, well, like I say, they're all doing well. I think that legacy is what's helping to make Manchester not just a hotbed for British boxing, but almost world boxing now.
Yeah, and some of his methods he tried. I mean, like you say, he was a visionary in many ways when it comes to the way he prepared for a fight.
Yeah, he was talking about nutrition and everything.
Everything. You know, at the time I boxed for England and stuff. And,
no one heard of that, had they?
Yeah, I was taking stuff down to the England coaches, what Phil was doing up in Manchester. You know, again, and it's only now on reflection, you sit back, you realise how ahead of the times he was in what he was doing in the gym.
And now with Will, what are you looking for with him? Because what's your record now, Will? 38, did you say him?
Yeah, it's about 38, lost about 7 or 8.
And a lot of those decisions, as we know, sometimes are dubious, to say the least. But I'm lucky enough to watch you perform. I've videoed you, I think, 3 times now, and you were a tiny little kid when I first watched you, and with a mop of black curly hair. And I was like, you put a little smile on my face, mate. So that last time I watched you out, which was in January, you'd shot up a lot by then, and I'm talking to you now, and I don't even recognise you, mate. Yeah, you're a young man now, mate.
Yeah, growing up.
And taking it serious, so Eric's been telling me.
Yeah, just started training properly now over the last 2 years after I just won the CYPs.
Yep.
Then got onto the England youth team, started training hard, got picked for the Brandenburg, went over there and won a gold medal.
So it's gave you the hunger for it now, mate, to take it.
Got to be done now, got to win these ABAs.
And this is it, that's your ambition then, to go in there and try and win these?
Got to win them, there's no try about it, got to go in there, win these ABAs, get on the full-time GB programme, hopefully turn pro after it.
Yeah.
See what brings me.
So, listen, I watched you and I was really, really impressed. Very, very slick. But you're not just a counter-puncher and a nice mover. If the guy's not coming towards you, I've seen you go hunting for him. You know, you're a very, very an aggressive fighter when you want to be.
You've got
It makes for what everyone loves to see.
Of course, prepare for anything. I mean, and that was the thing in Germany. I went over myself, and the coaches, the GB coaches, were really impressed with the way he adapted to different opponents. Like you said, the Kazakh was a tough, strong kind of box fighter, whereas the German was taller than Will and had a similar style in some ways. It was more of a counter puncher, but Will had to adapt and become the aggressor. And that was the same for the finals again. This French kid was a lot bigger than him, taller, very kind of elusive, but he had to change and adapt his style.
Eric, well, we was talking before, and you were saying because, as flyweights, there's not a great, competition. I mean, the ones at the top are absolutely great, but there's a big leap from being domestic to that level, because I think you must have. All those top 4 or 5 guys are sort of like European world level, if you look at them that way. Yeah. And you were saying you want to try and keep him amateur as long as you can, just for that experience of good quality sparring and fighting with people.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's about kind of learning the trade. There's a lot of kind of fighters who kind of neglect that sometimes, neglect kind of doing the rounds, getting the rounds in. Yeah. But rounds ultimately, rounds kind of competitive sparring. And ideally in the real kind of situation, contests.
I was asking you before, I said how many amateur fights? I thought you'd had about 100 and you went no, 200 no?
Yeah, 100, 200, been around. It's changed massively now, it's harder to get fights now, particularly at the smaller weights, but I'm really kind of keen for him to get as much experience. Ideally, with the England GB setup around the world, different styles, and fighting some really good kind of.
Say that you've helped him. He's moved around with a few lads who've been getting ready for world title fight, because I mean we've got a lot of lads around his way in the pro game who are challenging for titles, not just British but bigger and better titles than the British, and he's been moving around with them.
It's epicentre. We're quite fortunate that we are where we are, but the central epicentre of a massive boxing resurgence in the area, and obviously we have the networks with the gyms, been in the game a long time, and we've kind of used the networks to get Will out, to get him sparring. We go all over really.
So who's been down? You said you're Jazzy Dixon and.
Yeah, I mean the guys, Paul, Steve-O, really good friend of ours. We have access to their gym. Moved around with Jazza a couple of times and whatever. Really appreciate them kind of rounds, because. That's the place you learn.
I heard a little rumour that you had that Prince Patel down here. So the smiles on your face. Come on, you can tell us the story.
What can we say now? Sparring, and we what goes on sparring, it stays in sparring. But like you say, it was interesting to say the least. And so, Prince, you know about the sparring, don't you? Come on, anything to say that, Will?
Don't believe the hype.
So this must give you encouragement then for your season ahead as your first season as a senior amateur.
Big confident boost to sparring people like that, like Jazza Dickinson's, Ryan Farrow, like big strong pros as well.
Yep.
A lot heavier than me, and I do quite well with them. So can't really see any amateurs give me some problems in the seniors.
Well, I'll be looking forward to this. When do the amateurs start now?
I think it's February, I think it is.
February?
Yeah.
So hopefully, I'll be lucky enough to be filming you, mate.
Hopefully, yeah.
So listen, lads, take care. Eric, great with this place down here, absolutely fantastic. So hopefully be producing a few more champions as well as Will.
Thank you.
Take care, mate.